lover's got humor. She's the giggle at a funeral. Cause everybody's disapproval should have worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last from mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak. Fresh poison each week. We were born sick, you heard them say it. My church offers no absolute. She tells me worship in the bedroom. Only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen. 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 Take me to church, I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I will tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my death instead. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I will tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my death instead. God, let me give you my life. My stars are here when the ritual begins. There is no sweeter innocence than our gentle souls, and the madness and soil of this sad early seed. Only then I am human. Only then I am. Amen. 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 Take me to church, I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I will tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I will worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I will tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my deathless death. God, let me give you my life. Thank you. It took me an entire lifetime to get here, to be able to look at myself without any self-loathe or disgust. The only feelings I could associate myself with back as a kid. I did not fit in back at school and had a lot of trouble with the people who bullied me, which resulted in the onset of my 6-year-long battle with depression. To be honest, I wouldn't call it 6 years. It felt like an everlasting presence that was eating up my insides. And everything I did, everything that happened to me only added to my sufferings. That made me do something really, really bad to myself. The first time I did it, I knew that I was going to come back to it many more times in my life. It gave me absolute pleasure, and soon after, I completely surrendered myself to self-harm. I did want to speak up, but how could I when I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror? Because every time I did that, all I saw was this person who hated every inch of skin that belonged to him. The first cut I inflicted on myself took away all the hurt that was inside me. So I did it again and again, because by then I had understood that one pain killed another. And that was the ultimate killer for me. There seemed to be no end to that. So I started adding more and more cuts to my collection. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, but there are days when I still slip off a bit and I go back to it. The worst thing about depression is that you never know which one of your friends or relatives are going through it. It's It's really easy to make a happy face and pretend that you are happy. What's really difficult is expressing how you feel and talking about it. And it's okay to feel a certain way, and it's okay to talk about it, because that's when it starts getting better. I've always wanted to be a performer, so I enrolled myself in music, dance, and theater back in school. It was quite evident to me that music was my calling. And I knew that I had a voice that needed to be heard. At the end of high school, I started listening to jazz and gospel music while shaping and styling my voice according to that. When I graduated from high school, my trauma had subsided. I thought that I was finally going to put an end to it. In my freshman year in college, I was working with a bunch of managers, each of whom tried to twist me in different ways. The way I looked, the way I spoke, the kind of music I played. They would always tell me that the volume of my voice was too unbearable. Once, a club owner in Delhi cancelled my gig during the show, during the sound cut. By then, I had also gotten booed on stage by at least 100 people. Nothing that I did seemed to work out, but I knew that I wasn't going to give up. The more rejections I received, the more I desired to be heard. I really wanted to know what I could do with my voice. And I do believe that I pushed myself beyond everything that I had imagined my voice could do. By the age of 19, I was collaborating with outstanding musicians and I was doing multiple concerts in a week. I had to keep myself occupied with music all the time. I've never talked about this before, but it wasn't just 6 years. I have been battling depression my whole life. Everything that I do just keeps adding to it. With every rejection, I kept sinking deeper and deeper. By then, I had also received a lot of heartbreaks from people I never imagined could do that to me. And all of that contributed substantially to what was already building up inside me. The only way to end it, I thought, was to end myself, and had become very dangerous to myself. I made multiple attempts to kill myself, trying to slit my wrist, drinking, overdosing, and then doing it all over again. I had no sense of self-led, and I started believing that I was crazy. This went on till 2017, until I finally had a massive breakdown. But I was very lucky, because almost a week after my breakdown, I got a call that I was going to be on Asia's Got Talent, and that I was going to be on TV in a few months. I knew that I needed to get the hell out of where I was, so I decided to appear on the show. Meeting new people, meeting musicians, and just being around so much good music took me back to when I was a kid, when I could find plain happiness in just music. I fell in love with music all over again when I got the opportunity to perform with one of my favorite artists of all time, 16 Grammy Award-winning producer David Foster. And to be honest, that was the only thing I wanted from Asia's Got Talent, but I ended up making it past the judges' audition and the judges' cut. The entire experience made me realize a very important fact about life, something that we all seem to overlook, that there is no love in this world that is more intense and more passionate than the love you can have for yourself. I learned to be kinder to myself, and while doing that, I also became more tolerant, compassionate, and kinder to other people. And that was all it needed for me to appreciate myself and my voice. I never thought that my voice could become an instrument of change within myself, but I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Thank you.